Hi everyone, welcome to session 6B on referencing, and this is the second tutorial. In our first tutorial we discussed about what is referencing, how to avoid plagiarism, and referencing involves two things. One, citing within text and also creating a list of references. We looked at how citations can be made, and let's look at more in detail now. There are three different ways of citing within the report or within the text. First one is you integrate the reference into the sentence. If you look at the first one on your left hand side in the table, Burns within 2000 within brackets 2002 suggested that majority of hospitals seems to have outdated information systems. So Burns is part of the sentence, integrated into the sentence. The second method is at the end of the sentence or the paragraph, you look at the right hand side, RFID technology has also been used in a range of applications such as access to buildings. And then finally, within brackets, Ateron 2007. Both these formats are acceptable and you can use any of these formats. Now these two means you are rewriting what the author has said in your own words. This is not exactly what the author has said or the words used by the author. You're using your own words to rewrite them. The third one is when you use as a direct quote. Now when you use direct quotes, you're allowed only 10% of your report. Otherwise people will just rewrite what others have said. You will only use direct quotes when it is critical and when you feel by rewriting you will lose the meaning of the author or you will lose the impact of what the author has said. Again, using direct quotes, there are two ways. You can use a few words, but no more than a sentence within your sentence. That means in your sentence, you can use a few words used by the original author. But if you're using more than one sentence, you need to indent it. And we'll see some examples in the next slide. But when you rewrite or when you normally reference, you need only the author's surname and the date. But when you direct quote, you need the page number as well. Let's look at some examples. The first one is you are using some direct quotes or direct words within a sentence, but you're using only few words. Example, Fisher within brackets 1997, P means page, full stop 106, argues that functional products are the staples, inverted commas, that satisfy the consumer's basic needs, again taken directly from Fisher. And that because those needs change very little over time, such products have stable, predictable demand and long life cycles, again directly taken from Fisher. So the first one on your left hand side is where you use a few words like the staples, basic needs, and that part of a sentence that you have at the end. But if you use more than a sentence, look at the right hand side. A project includes a certain degree of uniqueness and dissimilarity as SysMill within brackets 1997, P 392 close bracket notes semicolon. Now this person has taken an entire quote from SysMill. Because of that, you need to push the paragraph onto the right hand side and it needs to be indented. So these are the two ways of directly quoting what others have said in your text. Now let's look at citing web pages. Generally, use author and date wherever possible. Kirby and Counts, 2008. But sometimes there is no author, but just the organization name. For example, within brackets, NASA 2010. If there is no title to the page, you can use the URL. If none of it is present, then you can question whether that website has real academic value. Now let's look at the difference between a list of references and bibliography. A list of references is generally what you use in your report directly. A bibliography is additional reading around the topics that you have done, but you have not directly brought it into your text. So both need to be arranged in alphabetical order, and you can separately list them. When you look at a list of references, they need to be arranged in alphabetical order. Don't use numbering or bullets, and there should be a space in between the two references. And this list of references will generally appear at the end of your report. And when you go through peer-reviewed articles and other publications, you will see how they have presented the list of references. Now let's look at how to refer different types of material. For example, how do you reference a book? You get the author's surname and then the initial, year of publication, title of the book, edition number, publisher, and publisher's name. Here is an example in the box below. If you reference a chapter in a book, then you add the title of the chapter as given in point 3, and you have an example in the box below. How do you reference a journal article? Again, here a journal article from the Harvard Business Review has been given as an example from Fisher. A lot of students ask, how do you refer internet sites? You put the author's name and the initials or the organization name, but because websites keep changing over time, you need to present the date that you accessed, like given in the example below, accessed on 12th March 2012. And also you copy paste the URL. So you saw some ways of referencing different material. So in this session, we looked at the importance of referencing and expectations of BCU, and most importantly, the meaning of plagiarism and how to avoid your reports being plagiarized by producing a very good list of references from academic papers and other material. And when you cite work of others, we looked at different ways of citing. In fact, 3 ways of citing. And also, finally, we looked at how to create a list of references. Although this might look a little alien to you right now, when you start working with a few assignments and your main literature review, it will become all clear to you, as you will be referring to more articles and other material for your work. All the best.